Hello, namaste. My name is Hariharan Iyer, the Enter Trainer, and I'm back with one more learning nugget. And today we concluded the Leeds Test match at Headingley in England, and India lost the second Test match. I'm going to talk a little bit about the management lessons from the Leeds loss. So, as you already know, I am a corporate trainer, motivational speaker, author, and a Reiki grandmaster, and I love cricket and Bollywood. So I'm a very, very normal, typical Indian, as you can see. So I had spoken about the Lord's victory and how magnificent it was, and you will find the link of that in the comment section here. So you can please do watch that video also. And we spoke about how magnificent it was, and suddenly after a week or 10 days, India have lost the Leeds Test match and the series is squared 1-1. And India came back from behind in Lords, but they were right behind in the very first session at Leeds itself, and they never quite recovered from that. Though they did show some fight on day 3, and it looked like India might just pull off one more miracle. You can expect such things from this team, of course. So what are the lessons? Last time I had spoken about after the Lord's victory that England somewhere lost the plot because they focused more on the emotions and the aggression rather than the skill sets. And how quickly did they learn? They really came back with much stronger force. And Jimmy Anderson, what a veteran, what a genius, what a legend he is. And he had India tottering in the morning session itself. And after that, India just went downhill, 78 all out. And it was almost a foregone conclusion that you can't win a test match or even draw it from that situation, though India did try a little bit towards the end. So one is success is fickle, and you can lose it anytime. It's sometimes just easier to get successful, but it's more difficult to stay successful. So I think India lost the plot somewhere on the skill side this time, and England were just better prepared. They were more skilled, they were more intense, and India just could not handle the pressure that was put on by the magnificent bowlers. And what do you say about one man, Joe Root, who has been batting like Steven Smith did for Australia in the Ashes against England? England just could not get him out, and India not able to get him out. He scored 3 centuries in 3 test matches. So again, the lesson here is if one man can stand up consistently, it can make a big difference to the team's efforts. So it's a fascinating series. Test match cricket is always very fascinating because it mirrors life. And just as India came back from behind in the first test match, there were a lot of lessons there. And there are a lot of lessons now as England have come back from behind. And it has really set up and opened up this series. So always focus on your skills and never take your success for granted because it's quite fickle. You never know when you might go down again. And when you go down, know that you can always come back. So I hope I've been able to add some more value to you through this little video, and I'll be back very soon with one more learning nugget. Till then, do take good care of yourself. God bless you. Thank you very much. And yes, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Hello, namaste. My name is Hariharan Iyer, the Enter Trainer, and I welcome you once again to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to share one more learning nugget with you. I'm a motivational speaker, corporate trainer, Reiki grandmaster, and author. And I do keep saying this in all my videos. I never tire introducing myself. Hope that is just to kind of, reiterate what I'm doing. I have a question here. What really is the one thing that defines successful people? Whether they are from the movie industry, whether they are from sports, whether they are from politics, whether they are great business leaders, they are great social leaders, they are great social reformers, they are great speakers, trainers, whatever the profession might be. Of course, there are some common factors like hard work, discipline, dedication, so on and so forth. But what's the one thing that really binds them? So when you think of a name like Sachin Tendulkar, when you think of a name like Amitabh Bachchan, when you think of any other great personality in your life who may not necessarily be a celebrity, or you think of any other celebrities, you think of Sunil Gavaskar, you think of the Olympic medal winners, what is the one thing that defines them? What's common? Apart from the common factors that we just discussed, like hard work, discipline, dedication, I think it's just that one thing. It's their ability to handle pressure. And we all know, when you study the lives of these great people that you come across in your life, you know that there were many moments when they could have really broken. They could have been on the verge of giving up. They would have been under intense pressure to bounce back, the intense pressure to prove themselves again. And I realized that you may have great talent, you may even have great skills, but if you cannot handle pressure, if you cannot bring yourself to perform when you are pushed against the wall, that ability, if you have, then you have a very, very bright chance of becoming very successful in life and staying there for a very long time, and even probably becoming a legend. It's about your ability to handle pressure. Can you handle the pressure? Whether it's at the workplace, whether it's in business, whether even when it comes to relationships, can you handle pressure, and can you work your way through pressure? And when things are really not in your favor, can you stay calm and composed and focused and still believe in yourself? So, ladies and gentlemen, I request you, apart from working on your knowledge, skills, habits, attitude, please also work on your temperament. Work on your ability to handle pressure, because life is not going to be smooth sailing all the time. The best of people, the most successful of people, will encounter situations when they are put under intense pressure. So I hope this learning nugget was useful for you, and you will definitely subscribe to my channel and pass on this learning to more people so that they can get more inspired, they can learn more. I'll be back very soon with one more learning nugget. Do take good care of yourself. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and God bless you. Thank you very much. नमस्कार, मेरा नाम हरिहरन अय्यर दी एंटरटेनर, और मैं आपका फिर से मेरा YouTube चैनल में स्वागत करता हूं। मैं एक मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर हूं, कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर हूं, रेकी ग्रैंड मास्टर हूं, ऑथर हूं, और काफी मजेदार काम करने की कोशिश करता हूं, और लोगों को एंटरटेनमेंट अपने लर्निंग के द्वारा देने की पूरी कोशिश करता हूं। आज एक बहुत ही बहुमूल्य, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट विषय पर मैं बात करना चाहता हूं। डोंट गिव अप। क्योंकि गिव अप करने से क्या होता है, ये तो हमने कई बार सुना है कि डोंट गिव अप, कीप ट्राइंग, परसिस्टेंस होना चाहिए, छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, नाकामयाबी से फिर से आपको उभर कर आना है, फाइट करना है। लेकिन आज मैं आपसे बात करना चाहता हूं कि गिव अप करने से होता क्या है। आप जब गिव अप करते हैं तो कुछ नहीं होता है, स्टार्टिंग में तो कुछ नहीं होता है। आप सोचते हैं ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, ये गिव अप कोई भी कर सकता है। कोई स्टूडेंट है, अपने एग्जाम में अच्छे मार्क नहीं ला रहा है, तो उसको लग रहा है बस यही अपना तकदीर है, बस इतना ही आने वाला, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते। या आप व्यवसाय में है तो आपको कुछ फेलियर्स आ रहे हैं, आप अपने करियर में है तो आपको कुछ फेलियर्स आ रहे हैं, तो आप गिव अप कर देते हैं। तो उस वक्त आपको लगता है कि कुछ नहीं होता है, क्या होगा, मैं कुछ और कर लूंगा, फिर से कुछ और कोशिश करूंगा। और वहां पर भी अगर कोई अड़चन आती है तो आप फिर से गिव अप कर देते हैं, और फिर आप बोलते हैं कि चलो ठीक है, अभी क्या फर्क पड़ता है, अभी तो कुछ और ट्राई करते हैं। वहां पर भी कोई अड़चन आता है तो आप फिर से गिव अप कर देते हैं। तो ये गिव अप करना एक आदत बन जाता है कई लोगों के लिए। दिक्कत ये है, हार तो सभी को झेलना है जीवन में, तकलीफें तो सभी को झेलनी है लाइफ में। और मैंने कई लोगों को सेल्स ट्रेनिंग दिया है, अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री से दिया है, कई लोगों को लीडरशिप ट्रेनिंग दिया है। और तो नाकामयाबी सिर्फ सेल्स में नहीं होता, नाकामयाबी रिश्तों में होता है, नाकामयाबी हमारे कोई एस्पिरेशन को, हमारे सपनों को पूरा करने में होता है, नाकामयाबी हमारे लोगों को हम जैसे मैनेज करते हैं एज अ लीडर उसमें होता है। कई क्षेत्र में जीवन में नाकामयाबियां होती रहती है। दिक्कत यह है कि जब आप छोड़ देते हैं और आपको लगता है मैं कुछ और कर लूंगा, तो ये छोड़ने का एक आदत पड़ जाता है, गिव अप करने का एक आदत पड़ जाता है, और ये बहुत बुरी आदत है। हाँ, ये बात अलग है कि आपको ये बात समझ में आए कि ये काम मेरे लिए नहीं है, ये मुझे नहीं करना है, मुझे वो करना चाहिए। लेकिन ये क्लैरिटी आने के बाद भी वहां पर भी अड़चने तो आएगी, तो आपको डटे रहना है और आपको छोड़ना नहीं है। और ये अच्छी आदत डालनी है कि दिक्कत आए तब भी आप अपनी कोशिश को जारी रखिए, आप कोशिश करते रहिए, प्रोसेस को फॉलो कीजिए। रिजल्ट आपके हाथ में होता नहीं है, कंट्रोल द कंट्रोलेबल। बस ये छोड़ने का, गिव अप करने का बुरा आदत कहीं पर भी कभी भी अपने जीवन में आने के लिए मत दीजिए। इसको आपके अंदर, आपके जहन में इसका प्रवेश नहीं होना चाहिए। इस चीज का आपको ध्यान रखना है। और एक समझदारी क्या है हमारे जीवन में, हमको क्या समझना है कि अड़चने तो आएगी, हर वक्त आप एकदम कामयाब नहीं हो सकते और हर वक्त आप नाकामयाब भी नहीं होंगे, ये एक साइकिल है। हाँ, हम उस इंसान को सक्सेसफुल बोलते हैं जो अपने जीवन के ग्राफ में ज्यादातर उसने कुछ ऐसा पाया है जो लॉन्ग टर्म उसके जीवन में चलता है। लेकिन आप देखेंगे कि जिन्होंने ज्यादा पाया है उन्होंने ज्यादा हार भी सहा है। जो ज्यादा हारता है, हो सकता है उसके जीवन में बड़ी जीत की आशंका बढ़ जाए। कोई गारंटी नहीं है, लेकिन हो सकता है। ऐसा सोचकर हमको फिर से आगे बढ़ना है, कोशिश करना है, अपने काम को एंजॉय करना है। सो डोंट गिव अप because it might just end up becoming a bit of a bad habit, and don't allow that bad habit to enter your system. So I उम्मीद करता हूं कि आपको ये वीडियो देखकर थोड़ा सा कुछ अच्छा सीखने को मिला। मेरे चैनल को जरूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा और मैं आपके समक्ष फिर से प्रस्तुत रहूंगा एक और सीख लेकर। मेरे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा क्योंकि उसमें अंग्रेजी वीडियोस भी हैं और हिंदी वीडियोस भी और थोड़ा इंग्लिश वाला वीडियो भी है, which I have tried to give a flavor in this video also. Till we meet again, God bless you and please do take good care of yourself. Thank you very much. Hello and namaste. My name is Hariharan Iyer, the entertainer, motivation speaker, corporate trainer, author, and Reiki grandmaster. And I welcome you to one more video, one more learning nugget from my side. And today I want to talk to you about a very sensitive subject, which is employer versus employee. And it's always a very curious thing. I mean, I really should be saying employer and employee, but I'm using this term quite deliberately, employer versus employee. Have you come across a lot of employers who complain about the lack of commitment and discipline of their employees? And have you come across many employees who say that my employer is here just to exploit me and I'm doing much more work than I'm getting paid for, and it is such a drab and really, oh God, I hate Monday. It's the first day of my work in the week. So I really don't like Mondays because it just doesn't make me happy. So it's curious for me because an employer and employee both are working for the same organization and both want success for themselves and success for the organization. Nobody gets up in the morning thinking that I want to fail today. I want to have a miserable time today at the workplace. Nobody gets up in the morning thinking like that. Then what is the cause of this kind of a divide in many organizations between the employer and the employee? And is it only the HR department's responsibility to fix this? Not really. I think the onus lies very much at the employer's table because, after all, it's a leadership issue. Employees have to feel bonded with the organization. Employees have to feel that when I get up in the morning and go to work, there is a greater meaning that is getting into my life. It's coming into my life. The HR department needs to be enabled by the shareholders, by the owners of the organization, to be able to give this comfort to the employee that they are valued, that in the overall vision of the organization, they are an invaluable asset. And they should feel that they are actually making a meaningful contribution to the development of the organization and to the service of the customers. And thereby, they should feel a sense of internal as well as external growth in their own lives. So, I really would urge the employers to empower and enable the leadership teams to ensure that they are able to percolate a sense of meaning into the minds and hearts of the employees. Money alone is not a motivation for human beings. They need to be valued. More than money, they need to be valued. Of course, money is important. Nobody can deny that. But more than money, just excess money or extra money does not ensure greater engagement. Engagement comes when you're valued, when you're respected, when there is a sense of compassion that flows from your leader and from amongst your team members and your peers. And when you are made to feel a part of the overall purpose of the organization. So it's also the employee's responsibility to look at their job profile from a different perspective. Not only look at it from a salaried perspective, not only from a I need to just do a job and get by. No, I think that's not really engagement. And that's not going to give you much joy in life. What really matters is that you got to feel a part of the organization, and you got to treat the organization as a platform without which you cannot grow. So you need to respect that. And somebody has got an entrepreneurial spirit and has given you an opportunity to work in the larger scheme of things by being employed in that organization. So yes, of course, it's a two-way street where the employer and the employee need to engage honestly with each other and have honest conversations whenever the opportunity presents, or create opportunities for honest conversations. But I would definitely say, because the employer is a leader, the leader always carries the higher and the bigger and the deeper honest towards ensuring that their employees are more engaged and more engaged, so that they are able to contribute towards the larger objectives of the organization. So I hope you enjoyed this learning nugget, and please do subscribe to my channel. I'll be back soon with one more value-added learning video for all of you. Till we meet again, God bless you, and please do take good care of yourself. Thank you very much. Hello and namaste. I'm back. My name is Hariharan Iyer, the entry trainer, motivational speaker, corporate trainer, author, and Reiki grandmaster. And I'm also the founder and chief mentor of my organization, Hariharan School of Success Education, HSSC, which was established in the year 2009. Today I want to talk to you about a very sensitive subject. How do you cope with your own mistakes? We all commit mistakes in life, and some of them really have a very deep impact emotionally and psychologically for a lot of us. They may even cost us financially in certain cases. We all make mistakes in life. Some are small, some are big, some have lower impact, some have higher impact. How do you cope with them? One is to say how to cope with failure. Failure can come from certain external situations, also beyond things which are beyond your control. But this feeling that I made a mistake is very personal. So how do you cope with it? Because it can be tough, it can be difficult for a lot of people to cope with it, and which is highly understandable. Who likes to make a mistake? Who likes to regret anything in life? But that's part of life. That's a journey of life. When I look back at my own life, and I look back at some of the major blunders that I have committed in my life, I come to realize that they were great teachers for me in the form of mistakes. which does not mean that you don't take responsibility for those mistakes. You have to take responsibility for those mistakes. You do not justify those mistakes. Yes, there could be some reasons around it. That's fine, but finally, it's your responsibility. But I think most importantly, you move on with the great learning that has come from those errors that you have committed in life. You cannot be stuck in that zone thinking, oh my God, I made this mistake, and somewhere mentally you're trying to correct it. It cannot be what has happened cannot be undone. So it's happened, and it's happened for a reason. Some of the mistakes might happen advertently, some of them might happen inadvertently, but you're going to take responsibility for them, and you have to take the learning and move on. There will also be situations in life when you will start reflecting upon them. They have entered your subconscious, they will trouble you a little bit, and you might also feel a sense of regret. Don't try to cancel out those feelings. They will be there, and they will have their own time and space, and they will leave you. But don't feed them. Don't feed them. Don't try to empty yourself of them, because that's not going to be possible, because it's a very personal thing, isn't it? But let them be there, and they are only reiterating the learning for you. Rather than thinking that they are reiterating the mistake, they are actually reiterating the learning for you. So hold on to that learning very tightly so that you don't commit those same errors again. Thirdly, don't forget to forgive yourself. Don't forget to love yourself. It's okay, you made a mistake. You might have lost money in business. You might not. You might have probably failed terribly in an examination. One of your projects might have kind of collapsed somewhere. Anything could have happened. But it's important that you forgive yourself, you move on, and have the courage to rebuild, reconstruct, and don't give up. Be persistent. If you really believe in what you're doing and you think there's a mission to it, there's a purpose to it, and you really belong to that activity, as long as they are ethical within the moral boundaries, you're not harming anybody in any way, you're trying to do some good to people through a business model or through any other activity, you're trying to do good to society, hang in there. And later on, you might just come to realize that those mistakes really were created for my own development. And you will become a much better human being. That's what I realized, that when you try to emerge out of your mistakes in the right way, it just makes you a better human being. And don't allow bitterness to enter your system. So I've been wanting to kind of share this for quite some time now, but today I thought I'll put it all together and just share quickly some thoughts around how you can cope with your own mistakes. I hope I have been able to share some good ideas around this. Please do let me know your reactions, and if you want to share a comment around this, it'll be wonderful to hear from you. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you. Do take good care of yourself, and I'll be back very soon with one more learning nugget. Thank you very much.